All right, guys, here I'm Coach Miller with the Miners. I'm here talking to Carver Rodman, Nicky Kraus, and Andrew Pederson. Gentlemen, how we doing?
Great, Coach.
Right on, right on. McKnight's out fishing the river, and these two guys are laying in bed, which is awesome. You hook one, you just got to show that.
Sounds good.
Right on. So what I want to do is just talk about your guys' journey from youth ball to high school and then beyond, and what you've learned from the coaches and kind of from just being good buddies and hanging out throughout the whole, I know some of you guys have been together for 6, 7 years.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's pretty cool that you guys had the opportunity to play with each other for so long. Now, I know you guys are graduating this year and going on to bigger and better things. I couldn't be more proud of you guys, and I've had the honor of coaching these guys for quite a while. So we'll start with you, Nicky.
All right.
Tell me a story, brother. Tell me your journey.
I started football going into 3rd grade is when I started tackle football. So it's been, 9 years? What is that, 9? Yeah, 9 years. I've been playing tackle football for 9 years. I think the first time I played with McKnight was like 5th grade, I think it was, when he joined. But starting in the youth league, we were used to winning. I won 5 championships.
Nice.
One with Baines and I've won 6 championships. One with Baines and 5 with Ed. It just got me winning and got me super. When you win, you get a lot closer to your boys than you think. Just because when you win, you practice a lot, because you got to. And we went to Las Vegas with each other for a tournament, and I got very close to a lot of people. And are the only other people that have been playing since 3rd grade that are still on the team now. So I'm really close to them. But yeah, I just got used to winning, and that made it even easier to get closer to the boys, and that really helped me to stay on the team for 9 years straight, just because I knew every year I'd come back and I'd have like my best surrounding me and playing the sport I love. And it was really fun, but then as soon as you hit high school, it was still very fun, but it definitely got a lot more competitive just because the level shot up. Freshman year kind of, but it was still really fun. We had everyone playing just random positions because we were so good. We just messed around. But then once you get to varsity ball, it's a different level for sure. But it was probably my favorite 2 years. Playing varsity was probably my favorite 2 years of football, just because you got to experience Bryce Eccles. But we experienced like losing together finally. And yeah, it's just a different bond that is kind of hard to explain unless you. Yeah, I've been playing for a very long time, and I don't regret any of it.
Yeah, and I'm sure you're going to miss it too, man. I mean, I know you've. And the hard thing is too, is you say you're winning, and that's probably helps practices, going to practices and everything. Because if you were losing, it'd be tough to just like jump on and go to practice every day, especially when your ladies or your friends are saying, "Come on, let's go hang out," and you're like, "Nah, I got to go to practice." So, what about you, Carver? What's your story, brother?
Well, I definitely don't have as long of a football story as these guys. I started tackle football in 7th grade.
I remember.
So I only had 2 years of youth league before I started playing high school football. But it was still a good enough intro for me that I got into it enough and got a close enough connection with the football boys that I could stay motivated and was excited to come play freshman year. And when I started playing freshman year was all time just because we there wasn't really anyone that we came across that was stopping Park City. And that motivated me to go to sophomore year. And taking junior year off was kind of an interesting thing to think about for me because I didn't know how motivated I was going to be coming into senior year. But honestly, I thought that my last year of football was my most fun and most rewarding season just because of how much closer I personally got with everyone on the team and how much I feel like everyone grew as a team because we like got through as far as being more like brothers than friends. You go through everything together. You don't just go through the highs together. You got your lows. You like might get in each other's grills, especially if they're on the O-line. Like you just put a lot of work in towards like a common goal. And I think that's something that brings everyone together no matter what. And I was glad and fortunate to be a part of it because it's a really healthy community and really positive environment to build yourself around.
Absolutely. And that's why I do it too, man, just to hang with you guys. I mean, to watch you guys grow from kids to young men, it's pretty cool. I actually feel pretty lucky to be a part of all this as well. Freshman year for me was, I enjoyed it because you guys just went out there and we were dominating so much that it was almost like, Nicky, I think you ran the ball a few times. I mean, everybody got to run the ball and change positions and have some fun. McKnight, you're up, my brother.
Yeah.
Story.
Well, my dad didn't want me to join tackle football super early, so I started playing flag football in second grade, and kind of just took off with that, and then took a few years off, and then my first year of tackle football was actually in 8th grade, so I was kind of a late bloomer, but it was just awesome too because they adopted me into their family kind of because I was on the C team. I still knew of them, but I would never play with them until freshman year. And then freshman year, it's like we never looked back. We got to know each other, like you said, that one year. And it was just like that, Nicky said, that family bond grew that year. And we just didn't look back at all. It was just it was a blessing, especially the last 2 years, going to Rice Eccles both years, playing the championship one year. It's crazy. The bond that we have is kind of unbelievable. Like Nicky said, it's hard to explain unless you're kind of in it. It's a family and you look out for each other. And I feel like it was built through adversity, especially our junior year when we lost in the semis and we came back even stronger. But yeah, I have no regrets. I wish I started sooner, especially with these boys, but it was awesome kind of being adopted into the family and, helping the team the best I could. So it's pretty awesome.
It is awesome, man. And I agree with you 100%. And it is a family. We'll go back to you, Nicky, man. If you had one game that you were like rock and roll star, it doesn't have to be, it could be even the youth ball. I mean, what would you go back to, man? I mean, that one game where it's just unstoppable Nicky Kraus, animal style,
Yeah. I think my sophomore year, like when I was on JV, when we played stuff, it was me and Jimmy, and we kind of just controlled their whole offense. And I think that was probably the best game.
And I could say that's one of my favorite by far.
I think I came out with 9 solos and sacks or something like that.
And we stopped them, remember?
Yeah, we stopped them.
They were driving.
Ball, yeah, they had the ball. Jimmy got the sack. Jimmy got the final sack, but me and him were definitely going off that game.
Nice. Now, Carver, I have a question for you. Now, you missed your junior year, and do you feel that set you back at all, or because you came out and pretty much rocking and rolling? So
yeah, I totally thought coming into senior year that I was going to be set back and that I was honestly expected to have to prove myself a little bit just because I was not I hadn't been there at all, and felt like I had a lot to catch up on. But the first day at camp, I rolled in, and they were using me as examples, and I was like running first team, and I was like, okay, I'm right back in it. And it didn't honestly take that long to pick everything back up, but it was a little bit of a culture shock for sure. But I think it was a smoother transition than you might think.
Cool, man. All right, McKnight, scoop and score. Remember that?
Yeah.
Nicky was pissed because I pulled him out just for a minute, and then the ball comes out, and there you go for a touchdown. He looks at me and goes, I know he's like, really, coach? And I know it wasn't really that kind. But what was your best game, brother?
I'd probably say probably a semifinal game this year, because I contributed on offense and defense that game. I blocked well on offense, scored a touchdown, and then also had a couple sacks on defense, and was just constantly pressuring the quarterback. So I thought I kind of balled that game. That was my favorite game.
Yeah, that was balls of the wall. I remember that game. Right on, man. So
was that Pineview, right?
Yeah,
that was Pineview. Yeah, I think everybody had a great game that game. That was a good game. So you guys were on. I remember West came into our locker or our school there. And I remember hearing, well, you know what, they got receivers for defensive linemen. They actually said that. I said, our corners are heavier than these guys. And hell, we opened up their eyes. And so, being undersized, and I'm not saying undersized, being fast, being athletic, I think that pays off so much more than being the fatty across the way. What's your thoughts on that, Nicky?
Yeah, I think obviously I'd like a little more size, but I think the fact that I was like always probably one of the fastest guys up front definitely helped me, because I was definitely more of a run guy, a run defender. But it helped me like shift myself into holes that I needed to get in, like just refix my feet. And it definitely helped, because if I was getting pushed down by a big guy, I could step underneath him a lot easier with my athleticism, and like the hole if I was stuck in the hole. And it helped me a lot. It helps a lot with the pass, just because of the edge you can get. But I personally found that it helped me just get down low and just get to the holes I needed to be a lot easier.
Oh yeah, man, you were my run stopper for sure. Definitely plug the hole, man. Nicky plugged the hole. Carver, you were getting double teamed constantly. To a point where you're like, dude, coach, seriously, I'm getting double teamed every play, sometimes triple teamed. What's your thoughts, man? You fought through it. You made some great plays this year.
Definitely being like not a big tubby fat kid helps. Being on the line, you can get a lot more creative when it comes to defense. Is you don't have a specific job like you would on the offensive line. There's a lot more freedom to do what you think would be the best action to make a play. And I thought that, especially playing nose guard, you got to get creative going against some of the teams we played. And I just did my best to be the first one off the ball and hit first and keep hitting, just not giving up as little ground as possible.
It was very rarely where you went backwards and didn't go forwards. Now, McKnight, man, you were my pass rusher. You were the guy called in to get some speed on that edge. I know you played both sides of the ball, and I know we have a couple other linemen that aren't graduating this year. I wanted to make sure that they got the seniors, and then maybe next year I talk to those guys. But you got to play both sides of the ball, and defense is my heart, defensive line. And I know you were kind of taking one for the team by going to the offensive side of the ball. Tell me something, tell me about getting off that edge and chasing down those guys. I know that one game you say in Pineview, I remember you got to him. And if you didn't, you forced him out of the pocket and, fed him to one of the other guys.
Well, yeah, I got to give credit to these guys because, they're getting double teamed and triple teamed. So it kind of left me with the one-on-one matchup. And like I said, not on their side, just more athletic than these big linemen that we're going against. So, that was easy. It was kind of easier job for me to get by one guy instead of three guys, and just do my thing and run the circle like you taught me, and get to the quarterback as best I could, at least get my hands in his face, disrupt a pass or something. So I got to give a lot of credit. It's not just an individual thing. I think I owe a lot to Carver and Nicky and whoever else was on the field when I was pass rushing. But yeah, that was it was awesome. You got to keep churning too, because even if you did, it's like kind of you get all the glory, in the world. But that's why I'm trying to give the credit to Nicky and Carver, because you get all the glory for the sack, but you don't really realize that, there's some people helping you out too. So I thought that was pretty nice to put me in that situation. But you gotta, like you said, you gotta have quick feet, run the circle, and then keep churning too. If they block you out, you gotta know when to roll back inside and take that inside gap and just light them up. So I think that's what I keep the engine churning.
I love it. I love a solid answer, Brian. That's a solid answer. Couple more questions here. So if you were going to tell a young guy, like a freshman coming in, and defensive line, of course, is king. What would you tell a defensive lineman? Let's just say like T-Rex and stuff. And you guys help me out with some of these young guys coming in. And what would you tell a young kid?
First, you hear it enough by the coaches, but I didn't realize how much it helped until I transitioned from my junior to senior year, but working out and an overall body strength. You don't need to be like some shredded kid that can bench 450, but just getting your overall body strength and going into the gym consistently made a huge difference between my sophomore and junior year, and then also my junior and senior year. I physically grew and physically got stronger. And if you can handle the guy in front of you, it makes your life a lot easier.
What about you, brother?
I would definitely say to have, especially during gameplay, have a short memory, especially when it comes to if you have a bad play and you do something, or if you do something wrong, it's important to not let that become your main focus, because then you'll get distracted from what's coming. And I would say, if I have any advice to give, to just focus on what you have coming in front of you to make sure you can execute your job to the best of your ability and with all the focus you can, because if you're caught up in the plays that you were doing in the past, then you're gonna get caught on your ass again.
Love it. All right, McKnight, what's up, brother? Tell me.
I think, if I was telling a young guy, I'd say, the importance of watching film, and, you're going against either the left guard, right tackle, whatever. Watch him, watch his maneuvers, because, if you study him enough, you know exactly what he's going to do. You've seen it before 1,000 times. So then, when you get in a game, you're like, oh, I've seen this. I know exactly what to do. And you do that in practice too. So you're like, oh, he's going to take a step back first. That's when and you kind of base your moves off of that. So I'd say, and also Nicky's, importance of all body strength, because you can be the strongest guy in the world and have feet of clay. So that doesn't really help you. But yeah, I'd say watch film. Keep it's the physical part is just half of it. The other half is mental and preparation. Because then if you go into a game and you're prepared, then there's no need to be nervous, because you already know what to do. You've already watched your guy you're going against probably 1,000 times. So
cool. So Nicky, where are you going to school, brother?
I'm going to Montana State up in Bozeman.
Very cool. Congratulations, man. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Carver, what about you, man?
I am going to Cal Poly in San Luis Obispo, California, and I'm studying marine biology.
Very cool. Very cool. And what about you, McKnight?
I'm going to Princeton to play lacrosse in Princeton, New Jersey. And I think I want to go into either economics or business.
That's awesome. That is so awesome. Well, right on. I'm supposed to ask you guys a few kind of personal questions, more or less, you know. So what are you going to take into the next step, like the college, that you learned from your coaches?
One thing I think I'll take, a big thing, like, is just, like, they always taught us how to just, like, act right in our community. And like, you're kind of like, oh, it's just like, I'm just like a kid, like how much like of a difference can I make? And that's like what you think, but then you see at the end of the year, like you saw at the end of the year, everyone at our state game, like we had like literally the whole city was at our state game, and I didn't know half the people, but they heard of us. They saw us in grocery stores and saw that we're in the line of stuff, saw that we're acting good, and they supported us. And I think that's a big thing you can bring into life, because you act like that just in general, and you help someone out one day, and it gives you good karma, or they offer you a job in the future. And it just being a good Samaritan in your community and just always treating people with respect is
Nah, dude, that's solid, man. Carver, what about you, brother?
I mean, that absolutely the community thing that Nicky was talking about. I think that's a super important part of like a positive character building trait. But also for me, like just the work ethic I was taught, how to stay motivated through something, even though you might not want to do it. Like football taught me that like it was something I was doing every day after school, probably more than school, actually, more days a week than school. But just like the work ethic and like skills that led me to have like more coherent headspace to stay motivated and drive through with what I was doing, follow through with what I needed to get done so that I could do what I needed to do to be more successful in the future with football and in general.
Cool. All right, Andrew. What about you, brother?
I think I learned the most is that, like, probably the discipline to get stuff done, the work ethic, like Carver was talking about, but, you know, the discipline to wake up on time, get to the morning lifts on time, or even early, so you can stretch out, get your body right, get your mind right. Because, you know, we're high school kids, you know, you don't want to wake up in the middle of summer at 6:30 and try and go lift. But that preparation got us to where we were in the season, and it taught us to be, you know, stay out of trouble too, because you're like, oh, your friends want to go out and party. You're like, oh, sorry guys, I gotta go to lifts. I'm not going out tonight. So I feel like that's for all sports. It teaches you to make right decisions, and you know, that discipline to keep your right head on your shoulders. So I think that's what I learned most.
Cool. All right, guys. Well, I'm supposed to, real quick, 1 minute apiece, ask you a few questions. It's called like the minor minute. All right. So, what's your favorite football team, Nicky? I already know all these answers to all these questions.
college or football.
Let's go college first.
College, Ohio State.
Let's go pros.
NFL, Cleveland Browns.
Oh, I know. I've been busting your balls for years on that.
Yeah.
Carver, what's up, man? What's your favorite teams?
Favorite college team is the U, of course. Utah, and I think the Steelers are my favorite NFL team.
Steelers, that's out of left field, man. McKnight, no, I got you. I'm a Rams fan, so it's hard for me, brother. McKnight.
Favorite college team is Michigan. Go blue, Nicky. Go blue. And then favorite pro team, you know, this one's kind of hurts, but it's the Lions. Got to stay with the Lions.
The Lions. Oh, that does hurt a little bit there, bro. All right, so favorite blitz.
Honestly, I like Spike. I think Spike was probably my favorite. Yeah.
Right on. Just kind of pin it down and just make the center pay.
I think that one set me up the most, honestly.
That's what about you there, boss?
That's how I got the winning tackle against Skyview. where I set him up for field goals, a spike blitz. Got the running back in the backfield.
I like twisting because it got me out of the middle.
Got you out of the middle. And McKnight, what about you?
I like the jet blitz where you shift from the inside, go rush outside. You know, I'm a pass rusher at heart. That was my favorite for sure. Run the circle and just blindside the quarterback. Greatest feeling in the world.
Yeah, any blitz
Love
with the pre-snap shifts. All the
shifts were so nice.
Well, right on. As more of a personal note, man, I'm telling you guys, I've been proud of you guys. You know, for every year I've coached you. Super proud of you guys now going off to college, doing it right, guys. You guys are doing it right. Just one thing, and I want to ask more of a personal thing. What have I taught you myself that you guys will take into the next? And I'm going to shut my door because there's a truck outside. But go ahead, Nicky.
One huge thing is just you're probably like the friendliest dude I know.
Probably the what?
The friendliest person I know, next to my mother. And that's really taught me. I've tried to personally get better at it. That, like, I know there's the coaches like scream and yell and stuff, but like I personally do not think that's like the best way to coach. Like you would get angry, but you would never just yell at us and tell us to fix it. You would individually come and talk to us and like criticize us to like say like in this. I think that it like really, especially for the younger kids coming up, it's a very good way to not motivate them and just really like show them individually what they're doing wrong.
Cool. Thank you, man.
Yeah, definitely the importance of staying, pretty much what Nicky said, just the importance of staying calm, cool, and collected, and how that benefits you in all aspects of life, because then you don't get carried away with something where you'll start overthinking, and then you'll go down the rabbit hole and you'll make a lot of decisions that you may regret later when you have a more mellowed out mindset and you are not, like, if you get angry, you're not angry later. Thinking back on it, you want to know that you thought through everything clearly and that you weren't just doing it out of anger. You gotta, just like the importance of how staying calm and working through things with what you have and not getting carried away is important.
Cool, man.
Probably the one thing you taught me the most is probably just worry about the next play. Do a bad play, flush it, worry about the next one. Always staying a positive attitude, because, of course, Coach, I gave you the teddy bear award for my little skit at the end of the year. But you're always the one that was, bringing us up, not putting us down. Like, I agree with Nicky. I know if you do something wrong, like, it's okay to yell at me a couple times, but like, you just constantly yell at me. I don't play good. Kind of get mentally in my own head. So I learned from you, probably just worry about the next play, move on from it, flush it, and not always have a positive attitude towards the game and on and off the field. So
cool. And like I said, guys, it's been a total honor, coaching you guys. And I know, like you said, you're going to do some dynamic things in this world, I can tell. So that's it for me. Thanks so much for joining us. And this is going to go out to all the young kids in Passing League and Youth Ball. And also, it's going to be on the video yearbook this year. So, this is a good, positive thing, guys. And like I said, just, I'm a person that is not a yeller or a screamer. And I feel like I treat you guys like I want to be treated. So I appreciate the good, positive feedback, guys. All right.
Thanks, Coach. It's been a pleasure.
Yeah, it's been an honor, Coach.
It is an honor, guys. It's my honor. You guys take care, all right?
All right, thank you.
Take care, guys.
We would like to thank Christine Grenny with Summit Sotheby's Real Estate for being a proud sponsor of the Park City Passing League. Christine is one of the premier brokers in Park City who is dedicated to finding you your dream home. Whether you are in the market to buy or sell, Christine's 18 years in Park City will help you explore everything that our great little town has to offer. Next time you're exploring the real estate market in Park City, reach out to Christine to get the inside scoop.